なぎる才能だね。
ありがとうございまする。
LED か。照らしたいのか。
照らしたいです。
しかもエコに照らしたいのか。
エコです。時代はエコかと。
それとも長い時間照らしたいのか。
真面目な話になって
LED お好きですね、ゆかな様。
意外に手先が器用選手権ですよね、ゆかなさん。なんだ裁縫とかそっちはまだわかるんですけど、意外にハンダとかそっちとかにまで詳しいのはなんでなんですかね。
なんで？
え？
普通ハンダゴってうちにあるでしょ。
出た。
ゆかな様、普通のお宅にはございません。
出た。
あるよ。あるある。
私気がついてないけど、ひょっとして持ってたかもしれない。
多分ね、どっかにしまい忘れてるだけだと思うな。
そうですね、1階に住んでないけど床下収納にあったかもしれない。
ああ、もう各家庭にもサイバーボッツの機体のこの辺にもほらハンダゴテみたいなのついてるから。
ついてるそうだ。あれでパソコンにつなぐ USB バスパワーのハンダゴテとかアクセサリーとして持ってると思うよ。
何を言ってるかわかりません。
申し訳ない。
なんだそりゃ。
申し訳ない。ちょっとほら基板いじる時とかにちょっと
基板
をいじられるのです。
マザーボードをいじらないでくださいませ。
本当マザーボード入れ替えて遊ぶと楽しいよ。
まず高度すぎてついていけないっす。
なんだほら羊の皮をかぶった狼とか作れちゃうわけだよ。
だと半端ねえ。
次に行くぞ。
はい、
よし
お願いします。
よし来い。
帝の調子を確認する狭間に対して言ったセリフです。特に問題はない。強いて言うならば耳障りなくらいだ。さあ世が何と言ったか当ててみよう。
強いて言うならば何々が耳障り。
ああが耳障りな。
なんだろう。
なんでしょう。
何でした？
と
何なの？
なんなのって今書いてるからちょっと待っててよ。
まだ書いてないでしょ？
はい。
書いてないならかまってみたいな可愛いです。
25年前ぐらいに宿題をやれって言った母親に対しての答えでしたもん。今やってるよって。本当はまだやってないだろって言われたらその通りです。
大体さ、今やってるって言ってる子ってさ、やってないんだよね。
やってないです、やってないです。
今やろうと思ってたとこなんだもんが正解だね。
そうです。
なんだろう。
なんだろうね。なんだろうね。
って言うならば。
強いて言うならなんだろうね。強いて言うならば、が耳障りなくらいだ。
ダメだ。あれ。
特に問題はない。強いて言うならば。できた。できた？できた。偉いね。やったー。褒められた。君は偉いね。うわー、いい。はい。もう一生ついていく。おいで。よしよしよしよし。みんなも早くこんな楽しい遊びに混ざりにおいでよ。楽しい。翻弄されるの超楽しい。
はい。できた。
かけた。かけましたよ、
できました。よ
かけたようだな。
し。
急に。ではそちらの答えを見せるがよい。
はい。
せーの。花子？
どうしたんですか？
夜の猫の鳴き声。
ああ、貴重な喉だ。
すいません。
また駐車場で盛り上がってるぞ。
これは耳障りかと。
すぐ見に行っちゃうんだよな。猫の喧嘩は見に行くの大好きなの。
そっ
そうなの？ほんで、友和は？
はい。自爆霊のラップ。
自爆霊のラップ？じゃあ再現してごらん。
殺せよ。早く殺せよ。ドゥワドゥワドゥワドゥワ。
死よりも辛い罰を与えてやる。
永遠に続くのかこれが。踊れ祁答院許さねえぞ。踊れ。
放置してあさみは
私これです。
クリスマスの鈴のね
耳障りですよ
ど
ね。
うかもしれないね。
クリスマスの鈴の音とラップで耳障り。
杉田のマイクをすごいちっちゃく音量しておいてください。
杉田くん遠くなった。
あーいあーい
だってブレイブルー前回はこうクリスマスに配信して今回はクリスマスに収録ってなんだよ。
本当のこと言っちゃダメですよ。だから本当のこと言っちゃダメです。
正解。
特に問題はない。強いて言うならばソチの声が耳障りなくらい
でした。正解でし
次
た。
回からは自爆霊のラップでもいいかもしれないけどね。
自爆霊のラップはこれの裏にずーっと
なぜだろう、このセリフを聞いてると頭がチカチカするんだ。あれあれあれっつって。
早く解放してやってくれよ。
じゃあもう一問いくぞ。
はい。
統制機構に集まる神楽たちの前に現れた帝が放ったセリフです。何をしておる。余がわざわざ出向いてやったのだぞ。控えよ。どうも。
さあヨが何と言ったか当ててみよう。
どうもどうも
どうも。
あどうも。
それならちょっとなんだろうな。怖くないな。帝様。
控えよう。あどうも。
でも
どうも。でも全然さチリよりまともだよね。
チリよりどうも。
だってそもそもドモって言ってやってるってことはちゃんと個体として認識してやってるってこと。
確かに。
あれですよね、先ほどの質問にもありましたけど、ゆかなさんにミカを演じてもらってる時、
はい
何をお願いしてるかって言ったら、とにかく上から、
はい
何があっても上からっていう、
はい。
はい。
っていうふうにお願いして、
だって部下2人偉そうですからね。
ああそうですね、部下2人が絶対に偉そうですからね。
っていうのが並んでるわけだから、それを割って入れる人って
そうですね。
森さん悩んでたもんね。
はい。
すでに中村と諏訪部さんがいるから、それを割って入って上から物を言えるって誰だと思うって言って、せーのゆかなさん。キャスト決定だった。その瞬間だった。
お芝居ってすごいね。私そんなこと絶対できないと思うのに。
ほう。
出かけたのか。
はい、そうだ。
いいのか。かけたの。
はい、かけたかけた。
あーね。じゃああさみのは最後にしてあげよう。じゃあかなこは雑草ね。
雑草ども。
セロリになっちゃうよ。
セロリになりますな。
セロリいいね。
セロリ
セロリども。
セロリども。
ともかずのは
はい。
靴下くっさい父ちゃんども。
おい、しのすけ、それは誰のこと言ってるんだよ。
ただ私すごいなって思ったのが、その字をよくゆかなさん読めたなって。そうです。
すごい。
無才かと思った。
むさい。
くっさい。
くっさい。
とーちゃんの靴下。俺劇場版だとあれ最大の武器になるから。
なるほどね。通じ合っておる。
そうそう。
まあね、そうなるまで頑張ったお父さんですよ。
そういうこと。
お疲れ様。
ほほ。
あさみのは
あ
え
そこそ。
杉田ども。しかもどもの下にかっこどもかず。
この趣旨を理解してくださってありがとうございます。
今井さん、俺の名前でいじるの珍しいですね。
ちょっとゆかな様がいらっしゃるんで今日は強気にいけます。
控えよ。杉田どもかず。
マジ。よく言われたよ。だけど、ともかすとかいう昔からよく言われたよ。カスみたいな。
わあ。
よく言われた。
正解。
余がわざわざ出向いてやったのだぞ。控えよ。下僕ども。
えよゲボーク。でも
そう言われたらなんだかいいな。
え
今のニュアンスで言われたら
ゲ
ちょっと
ボークでも
かわいい。
あらら、何色モザイク、金色モザイクみたいになってきた。うまいな。カレンちゃんのお母さんとか出てこないかな。
というわけでぜひ皆さんもですね、実際に使われてる音声なんかもね、確認してほしいですね。
そうですね。
はい。
はい、では以上、世のセリフを当ててみようのコーナーでした。ブルラジクイック。
ノエルポエム。今日は2016年最初の配信。今回はスタジオのみんなで一つのポエムを作ったよ。テーマは明けましておめでとう。素敵なポエム、みんなに届くといいな。明けた明けた、年が明けたよ。一富士二鷹三なすび。初夢はいい夢見れたかな。年末ジャンボを買い忘れた後悔とともに。おめでとうとありがとうが溢れるといいね。和尚が2人で和尚がツーと言った父親にボディーブローを入れたら食卓がデス&リバース。犬も失禁した。今年もいろいろあるけれど元気いっぱい頑張ろう。
人がいっぱいいたから直司がびっくりしたらしいのね。
誰がどれ書いたか分かりやすすぎる。
お父さん殴ってないんだけどね。
あら、
事実を元にしたフィクションです。
こんちゃんにあの言葉言わせたかっただけかと思ったよ。
いや本当にあったの。直司が
そっか。
人がいっぱいいるのにうわーってびっくりしちゃったみたいで、
かわいいね。
かわいいね。
襖に跡がついてる。ブルラジニュース。
こんにちは。ブルラジニュースのお時間です。本日はブレイブルーセントラルフィクションの情報からお伝えします。
番組でもお伝えしましたが、全国のゲームセンターで好評稼働中のブレイブルーセントラルフィクションが本日アップデートいたしました。イエーイ。
やりました。
はい、新キャラクターイザナミのプレアブル化に加え、アーケードストーリーのアクト2がついに開放。気になるストーリーを今すぐチェックしてください。
はい、ブレイブルーのプレイヤーズギルドでは様々なイベントを実施中。レシカを使ってプレイしてイベントにもぜひ参加してくださいね。
続いてアークシステムワークスのゲーム情報です。とびっきりキュートでパワフルなカートゥーン美少女たちが大暴れ。 2D 対戦格闘ゲームスカルガールズセカンドアンコールがプレイステーション4、プレイステーションビータで3月10日発売。日本語版キャラクターボイスにはご覧のキャストが出演しています。英語だけでなく日本語でも楽しめちゃう本作をどうぞお見逃しなく。
1989年に登場したダウンタウン熱血物語が多数の新要素を搭載してダウンタウン熱血物語スペシャルとして蘇ります。今回の熱血物語どのように展開していくのか、続報にご期待ください。なめんなよ。そしてアークシステムワークスはダウンロードサイト Steam にて、いろいろなタイトルを配信中でございますよ。ぜひ皆さん、月影学園こうもあるんでね、ぜひ皆さんプレイしてみてください。以上、ブルラジニュースをお伝えしました。
ブルラジクイック。
さて、ブルラジクイック、そろそろお別れの時間です。
はい、ブルラジでは皆さんからのメールをお待ちしています。ご覧のコーナーまでどしどし送ってきてくださいね。お便りが採用された方にはブルラジオリジナルシールを、ブルギリで採用された方にはブルギリオリジナルグッズをプレゼント。
ブルラジに関する情報はブルラジ公式ツイッターで、ブレイブルーイベント情報は BB イベント公式ツイッターでお知らせ中です。こちらもぜひフォローしてね。
そしてニコニコ動画のアークシステムワークス公式チャンネルではブルラジの他にもいろんな番組や映像を配信中です。
But you just get that garbage talk, so no blessings. You're looking present, I'm already futuristic, cruising satisfaction. Kill me a bit, curiosity brings me back and grooving. Don't wanna follow water, water restore that toilet crossing the border. Next corner, posing for reporters. Next level explorer with my crew supporters. Still got what's forward with my crew.
Like the shiny stars, like that past whenever it's dark. You keep on blinking at me. You never turn away from
take it, couldn't stand another minute. Couldn't bear another day without you in it. All of the joy that I had known for all my life was stripped away from me the minute that you died. To have you in my life was all I ever wanted, but now without you, my soul forever haunted. Can't help but feel that I had taken you for granted. No way in hell that I could never comprehend it. I wasn't dreaming when they told me you were gone. I was wide awake and feeling that they had to be wrong. How could you leave me when you swore that you would stay? Now I'm stuck inside of their mirror every single effing day. It's like a movie, but there's not a happy ending. Every scene fades black and there's no pretending. This little fairy tale doesn't seem to end well, 'cause the night is shining, I run away from a spell. I know They see you as small and helpless. They see you as just a child. Surprised when they find out that a warrior will soon run wild. Prepare for your greatest moments. Prepare for your finest hour. The dream that you've always dreamed is suddenly about to flower. We are lightning, straight from the thunder. Miracles of nature wonder. This will be the day we've waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. Evolution, hope you're ready for evolution. Welcome to a world of new solutions. Welcome to a world of bloody evolution. In time, the hope will open minds. The story will be told. And victory is in its simple soul. Your world needs a great defender. Your world's in the way of harm. You want a romantic life, a fairy tale that's full of charm. Beware that the light is fading. Beware as the dark returns. This world's unforgiving. Even brilliant lights will cease to burn. Legends scattered. Day and night will simmer. Hope that beats the This will be the day we've waited for. This will be the day we've waited for. This will be the day we open up the door. Evolution, hope you're ready for evolution. Welcome to a world of new solutions. Welcome to a world of bloody evolution. In time, the hope will open minds. The story will be told. And victory is in its simple soul.
Intruder, identify yourself.
Born with no life, into subjugation, treated like a weapons animal.
Stripped of all rights, just to lesser being, crushed by cruel, ruthless human rule. When it started, only way it would take to live our life. Now in darkness, taking anything we want and we will rise. We'll rise, we'll rise from shadow.
going through my mind, how it feels being me. All the struggles, all the fights, long days, longer nights, trying to search for this happiness, lost in the life. But it seems that it's all just out of my sight, just out of my reach. Can't seem to get right, like I'm cursed with the turbulence placed in my life. Can't push a pull, it's stuck up in this pulpit cycle of pain. All the stress in my brain, I'm just trying to maintain, keep from going insane. But no matter what I do, the cries go unheard, yet I still believe in you. Every breath, every word, every smile, every glance could be another chance that you finally see the love that is me. So until that time, I'll follow every day, every step of the way, and continue to say,
stands knocking on the door. No response, but hey, you're ready back to back. Just time running on a midnight train. Back to back. Conscience is swimming to the air. Back to back. Cannot let anyone do it again. Back to back. I can no longer pretend. Give me a break, you down. Just wanna get by my dice again. Lazy down. What a heavy day. Now you hear the rumble from the ground, yeah. Trick, cheat, fraud, like violence bouncing round, yeah. So let it be, oh let it be, since I'm the traitor. 6 times knocking on the door. What a chance we've got to stand back to back. Just time to running on a midnight train. Back to back. Conscience is swimming to the air. Back to back. Cannot let anyone do it again. Back to back. I can no longer pretend. Give me a break, you down. Just wanna get by my desk again. Lazy down. What a heavy day. We made a contract with the clown and had a high old time. Nobody doubted he is true purpose. Oh yeah. Not knowing we had given up everything we had lived. All of the options need extra here in this dead end. Back to back. Step down the running on a midnight train. Back to back. Conscience is swimming to the air. Back to back. Blade is already on a juggler of pain. Back to back. Each time we're never left down. Give me a break, you down. Just wanna get back to that again. Lazy down. What a heavy day. Get on to rock, get up to burn. Stand with the pride, ever feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life was broken. It was not me who was controlling this body. Oh, I want to know what's really real to me before it vanishes like a wave. Get on the rock, get up the burn. Stand with the pride on me, the ways to make her. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high. Right fears, that's what this made to start with. You haven't heard it, girl. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. Beat the sonic, that's my heartbeat in you. One day I noticed that the world was broken. Spoiled as hell, we had our pride on be the ways to make her. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high, raise your voice, that's how you start a new thing. You must have heard it now. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. Beat the sun if that's my heartbeat in you. Easy answers to swallow. Life is to gobble down the perfect killer. That truth is that you are the one being eaten. Don't need my answer to be written the book. Oh, I want to keep my thirst for what is worth. No use in passion, not oh. Get on the rock, get up to burn. Stand with the pride on me, the ways to make her. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high. Trust the peace, that's how you're supposed to use it. You must have heard it. Go. Don't be afraid to look yourself in the eye. Beat the sun if that's my heartbeat in you. Gathering, I picked up many words absorbed in a book and didn't hear you call. Suddenly, my journey has begun while everyone around bless me. How could I know? Day by day, I thought of it falling down to the others. The answer that I found was not right. Divide my heart, someone dies unfairly. Divide my heart, someone earned the soul of vengeance. I don't know what has started all this tragedy. I don't know it, so gathering, you picked out many words, thrown into that fire of hatred and all. Suddenly, your journey has begun. If everything you know was biased, how would you know? Day by day, you think of it falling down to the abyss. The answer that you found was not right. Divide my heart, someone dies unfairly. Divide my heart, someone earned the soul of vengeance. I don't know why we started all this tragedy. I don't know why. So I have gathered love. I have gathered so much. the pieces that fit into my box, but there was not one important thing. One day was just like another. I believed it was my own intention, but now I'm not sure anymore. Suddenly, my journey has begun, while everyone around bless me. How could I not?
You don't know what it's like to live in shadows. Always regretting what you've done. Spending time counting every little mistake, knowing it's always easier to run.
Don't have to spend your life looking backward. We've been through this over and over again. You can't just wish it away. The past is the past, it'll never change. That was before, this is now. And when we have a chance to make it better if we try.
Go where you need
what I see, what's going through my mind, how it feels being me. All the struggles, all the fights, long days, longer nights, trying to search for this happiness, lost in the life. But it seems that it's all just out of my sight, just out of my reach. Can't seem to get right, like I'm cursed with the turbulence placed in my life. Can't push a pull it, stuck up in this pulpit cycle of pain. All the stress in my brain, I'm just trying to maintain, keep from going insane. But no matter what I do, the cries go unheard, yet I still believe in you. Every breath, every word, every smile, every glance could be another chance that you finally see the love that is me. So until that time, I'll follow every day, every step of the way, and continue to say,
Keep dreaming about a better world. You keep wishing for some clarity. Always hoping that a lightning bolt is gonna save you from this gravity. You're holding out for some romantic life. Maybe you'll wake up in a world of charm. Oh, but what's here can set you free. You don't have to dream. Your life's a masterpiece. If you just believe, then all you see is all worth living for. Everything is broken, the light's not there anymore. And the story takes an unexpected turn. A friend is suddenly gone. We can cry our lives away, but if they were here they'd say, go forward, you must keep moving on. Stay close,
out, but you just kept that garbage talk. So no blessings. You're looking present, I'm already futuristic. Cruising satisfaction, kill me a bit. Curiosity brings me back and grooving. Wanna follow water by water, restore that toilet, crossing the border. Next corner, posing for reporters. Next level explorer with my crew supporters. Still capacity forward with my crew.
Like the shining stars, like the past, whenever it's hurt. You keep on blinking at me. You never turn away from
but you just get that garbage talk. So no blessings. You're looking present, I'm already futuristic. Cruising satisfaction, kill me a bit. Curiosity brings me back and grooving. Don't wanna follow water, water restore that total crossing the border. Next corner, posing for reporters. Next level explorer with my crew supporters. Still got what's forward with my crew.
Like the shiny stars, like the past whenever it's dark. You keep on blinking at me. You never turn away from me. In this past roomy night sky, like the fire up in the night. The journey that we travel for our prize. No matter where we go, we will not stop the shining forever.
That sea is not flat, more like panorama. More to it, more drama. Going gorillas, bananas. I just wanna have a lot of fun and let's survive it. We're riding, I'm driving, no rider, I'm battling. I keep it tasseling.
Like the shiny stars, like the past whenever it's dark. You keep on blinking at me. You never turn away from me. In this past roomy night sky, like the fire up in the night. The journey that we travel for our prize. No matter where we go, we will not stop the shining forever.
That sea is not flat, more like panorama. More to it, more drama. Going gorillas, bananas. I just wanna have a lot of fun and let's survive it. We're riding, I'm driving, no rider, I'm battling. Views that I see is not flat, more like panorama. More to it, more drama. Going gorillas, bananas. I just wanna have a lot of fun and let's survive it. We're riding, I'm driving, no rider, I'm battling. I keep it testing. You're
In just a few short days, 2019 will come to an end, and what a year it has been for Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I want to start a new tradition on this channel, starting with this video, and that is we're going to do every single year, hopefully, the top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Releases from that year. Now, we don't have actual sales numbers for which set or which products sold the best, so we're not going to be talking about that, but I'm going to go off of how I feel the community reacted to these products both before and after they came out. All 5 of these products, in my opinion, to be a top product of the year, have to not only be good for competitive players or casual players, but both of them together, as well as everything in between, budget players, non-budget players, all of those things. I really like products that every single player can pretty much get behind and say, okay, there's something for me in this set, or hopefully more than one thing, but at least one thing for every type of player. By doing this, hopefully we can narrow down some of the things that Konami did really well this year, and also some things that they can improve upon for 2020. Overall, I think 2019 was a very fun year for Yu-Gi-Oh! You had lots of decks topping and lots of decks winning. I do feel right now the format is pretty stale, which is why I made that banlist prediction video yesterday, but in today's video, I mostly just want to focus on the positive stuff from these top 5 sets. Of course, as always, if you guys like to purchase any of the products that I talk about in today's video or any other cards heading into 2020, make sure to use my link to tstplayer.com, which will be in the description below. A portion of those sales goes right back into this channel. At number 5, we have Dual Power, a set that right now I feel we're pretty detached from, and I think people, when they remember this set, they're just like, oh, that's the Infinite Impermanence reprint set, and that certainly was a big selling point of Dual Power, don't get me wrong. Infinite Impermanence before this was released was almost $100, and this took it down, the reprinted copy at least, to about $50 or $60, and that is overall a good thing. More players are able to have access to Infinite Impermanence, one of, if not the best hand traps right now. And it might be because I already owned my playset of Impermanences by the time this set came out, but I know this set has so much more to offer the world than just one good reprint. There's a ton of good reprints actually. You have Galaxy Soldier, a card that was pretty expensive. You have Predaplant Dragostopelia, that was a cool super poly target. You have all of the Ghost Girl hand trap reprints. There's a lot of cool stuff in here that's reprinted. You have a bunch of Necros cards as well, which is cool because those cards kept getting less and less restricted on the ban list. But even more so than that, you have some really cool rarity upgrades. You have Fright for Patchwork and Predaplant Orifice Scorpio. There are so many cool cards out of the set. It is so much more than just an Infinite Impermanence reprint set. Not to mention, even on top of all of that, we have some Vrains Pack cards. We had the Heratic Seal Link Monster, incredibly competitive card. You had some other cool Link Monsters like the Aromage one that players have been asking for a while. You had Borolo Dragon, that was a huge reprint out of a set. Borolo Dragon's reprint is actually a fantastic example of why I think this set is so good and might not seem so good right now, and that's when this card was reprinted in Dual Power originally, it was the first non-secret rare print of this card. It saw an original print, it saw a Megatin print, but the card was still pretty expensive. However, this new ultra rare printing with the alternate artwork actually took the price down quite a bit, and this is something that we don't really think about anymore now that it has a common print, and we don't really think about Borolo Dragon as being an expensive card. Even reprints that a lot of you guys have probably forgotten about, like Hot Red Dragon Arching Abyss, at the time were huge and really lowered the price of that card that a lot of people wanted to play with their Guard Dragon decks. So while the set probably did have too many filler cards that didn't really need to be in there, overall it is a really solid reprint set full of some awesome cards for competitive and casual players alike. Next up, we have the only structure deck that's going to make my top 5 list, and that is Structure Deck Soulburner. Now, this was a tough one. I really did want to put the Pendulum Structure Deck and this one on the list, but I think that you'll be able to see here that all 5 of the sets or all 5 of the releases that made the list are in fact more impactful and more loved by casual and competitive players than the sort of Pendulum Structure Deck. What made Soulburner so cool was that this was like the first widespread, super easy way to get Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This was not the first reprint, but it was the first reprint that was super easy to get and that you were always guaranteed one copy in every single structure deck. This meant that even if the structure deck got to obscene amounts of value, I know the Dinosaur structure deck became really expensive down the road, at least at the very start, you'd only have to pay $10 per structure deck, so $10 per Ash Blossom. But one good reprint is not enough for a set or a release to make it on today's video, this top 5, because Soulburner did not just have that one good hand trap reprint. It wouldn't be that good if that's all it had. If we think back to like the Ancient Gear structure deck a few years back, that did have a Max C reprint, but that doesn't make the structure deck actually really good. However, in the case of Soulburner, not only did you have a a common reprint of one of the most sought after hand traps guaranteed in every single structure deck, but also you had a really cool piece of support for an archetype that most people didn't even know existed. The Salamangreat structure deck was super strong. You had Gazelle and Spinny and Roar and Heatleo and Baylynx. Nowadays, these are some of the most iconic Salamangreat cards, but prior to the structure deck, they hadn't been released yet, and Salamangreats didn't have a win condition or a strategy at all, just sort of a mishmash of really weird looking cards. Later on down the road, you had the Signet Mining release, which was huge for Salamangreats. You know, I've always said that one of the most important things about a beginner's deck, you know, when you first start playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that, yes, you want it to be able to not be too expensive, you want it to be playable pretty much out of the box, like Salamangreats were. I mean, when you had 3 Gazelle and 3 Circle, you could make a pretty competent Salamangreat deck just buying structure decks and a couple Sunlight Wolves as well. But I also feel that your first deck, if you're trying to take it seriously at least, should be a deck that once you invest more into the game actually gets better as you get better. And in the same way, I think that Signet Mining, while maybe it should have just been an ultra rare, I think it was pretty cool as like a chase card for someone that was playing Salamangreats that eventually figured out that they want to invest more in the deck. Salamangreats have been a viable deck ever since that structure deck got released, but also they're just like a fun deck to introduce new players into Yu-Gi-Oh! I really like the structure deck for a lot of reasons. Hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. While the Pendulum structure deck is cool and is very competitive as well, I really feel like the casual fan base really latched onto the Soulburner structure deck way more, so that's why it made this list instead of the Pendulum one. Next up, we have Savage Strike, and I will say right now this is the only core set on my top 5 list, and it's only at the number 3 spot. I've talked at length in multiple other videos about why I feel core sets have been really lacking, especially the last 2 releases, so I won't spend any time talking about that in today's video, but I will say that Savage Strike by far was the best core set just in terms of how many different things for different players it had. At the higher end, at the more competitive side, you have cards like Phantasme and Pot of Extravagance and Guard Dragons and Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf and Subterror Guru, and really too many cards to name. Aloof Lupine, Borreload Savage Dragon. There are so many. I'm sure I've left out a couple. I know there's Orcus Nightmares in this set as well. There are so many competitively viable cards, not only at the higher rarities like Phantasme and Extravagance, but a lot of those cards are commons or rares or super rares as well, which is really cool. You got all sorts of powerful cards at all sorts of rarities. You also had some cool rogue cards like Psychic Wielder, as well as the Time Thief archetype, and some cool TG cards for the more casual audience. Most people think Neospace Connector is part of the Soul Fusion set because it was a special edition promo for Soul Fusion, but it's actually technically part of the Savage Strike set, and that's obviously a very competitive card. With so many competitively viable and casually entertaining cards in one core set, it's really no surprise why Savage Strike is by many the best core set of 2019. At number 2, we have a very loved set by a vast majority of the community, but still a set in my opinion that is vastly misunderstood by a lot of people. That is Dual Devastator. Now, why do I say this is vastly misunderstood? Well, I saw a lot of comments from people that are currently playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! That said things like, I already own almost all of these cards, why would I buy this? And the answer is, it's not really for you. I mean, there are some cool rarity upgrades that I was excited to pick up as someone that already owned most of these cards. Things like Wiretap as an ultra rare or Lost Wind as an ultra rare, those are really cool to me, but this really isn't the type of product that is for your average competitive player that already owns all of these sort of options. What it's for is the players that are looking to get into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And don't have to buy 50 or 60 cards from like a million different sets. This thing really does include so many different extra and side deck options, more so than any other set ever released, and you don't have to deal with pull ratios. You are guaranteed one copy of every card out of this set. Dual Devastator was basically Konami selling singles to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Player base, and people seem to love it. It was a more expensive product than other products that they've released, but it worked really well. You know, you could get all the Ghost Girl hand traps with alternate artwork out of this one box. You could get Super Poly. You could get a whole bunch of Link Xyz and Synchro monsters that you may or may not use. All sorts of fun side deck tech options. Denko Sekka, Spell Canceller, Effect Failure, DD Crow, Vanity's Fiend. You even have 2 of the most popular cards from 2019, Artifact Lancia and Prankatops, in one set as reprints, and I know to a lot of people it was like, well, wait a second, didn't they just reprint these out of a gold sarcophagus tin? And the answer is yes, but someone that is just getting into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! This is like the most valuable product that they can possibly purchase. This is by far the best bang for your buck out of any Yu-Gi-Oh! Product in 2019, possibly even in 2020. we'll have to wait and see. But by far, if you're someone that just has like a deck or two or something and you want to get a whole bunch of staple cards just from one box, Dual Devastator is for the moment the best purchase for you, and I think a lot of people realize that, and I think a lot of people bought this set. Even if you weren't buying the box itself, maybe you didn't need all the cards, a lot of people took advantage of the very good reprints out of there for maybe some rarity upgrades or cards that they were missing for their collection. Overall, Dual Devastator was super hyped, and I saw a little bit of disappointment there wasn't like Phantasme in there, but even without that Phantasme, which would have been insanely cool by the way, even without that though, I still feel this is the second biggest release of 2019 for many players out there. Before I get to the number one choice for the best Yu-Gi-Oh release of 2019, I want to give an honorable mention to the Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge. Now realistically, this probably could have been number 5, you know, it's pretty debatable, but this set has so many filler cards